When you think of the greatest trios in NBA history, a few names are basically carved into basketball mythology. Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman, the blueprint of dominance. Steph, KD, and Clay, offensive perfection wrapped in a dynasty. LeBron, Wade, and Bosh, the formation that changed player empowerment forever. But every once in a while, the league gives us something we didn't even realize we were waiting for. A trio that feels impossible on paper, but terrifyingly real on the court. And this season, the NBA might be witnessing the next entry into that exclusive club, because somehow, some way, the Lakers have stumbled into one of the most explosive, unpredictable, and downright dangerous combinations in basketball. LeBron James, Luka Doncic, and Austin Reaves. A 40-year-old GOAT who refuses to slow down. A generational superstar who bends defenses like they're made of paper. And a gritty, fearless guard who keeps leveling up every single year. Individually, they're problems. Together, they're a full-blown nightmare. And right now, they're on an absolute tear, ripping through the league like a team that isn't just trying to win games, they're trying to make history. The wildest part of all this is that no one, absolutely no one, predicted this trio would ever exist. Not fans, not analysts, not even the most delusional Lakers optimists on Reddit. Before the season, the Lakers were viewed exactly how they've been viewed for the last few years. Dangerous but flawed, talented but inconsistent, scary on their best nights, but absolutely vulnerable on their worst ones. And even with LeBron and AD, that formula doesn't win championships anymore. The league is too good. The margins are too tight. And as LeBron got older, the window seemed to get smaller. Everyone assumed the Lakers would ride out the LeBron era with whatever pieces they had and hope for one miracle run. But then, Dallas panicked. Tension grew. The Luka rumors started swirling. And for the first time in his career, the possibility of Luka Doncic wearing purple and gold felt not impossible. That was all the Lakers needed. When the trade actually happened, the league couldn't process it. It didn't feel real. Twitter melted. TV analysts couldn't form sentences. And Lakers fans reactivated accounts they deleted back in 2021. But what made the move so shocking wasn't just the fact that Luka was traded. It was the fact that the Lakers made the deal without giving up Austin Reaves. Reaves was the sticking point. The player Dallas absolutely wanted, the Lakers absolutely refused to give up, and the league absolutely assumed would be gone the moment Luka was involved. But he stayed, and because he stayed, the Lakers walked into training camp with a trio no one had prepared for. A transcendent passer and scorer, the greatest basketball mind in modern history, and a relentless, evolving two-way guard who thrives in chaos. The moment they stepped on the court together, something clicked. The fits that everyone thought would be clunky, they weren't. The ball dominance problems people worried about never happened. The usage concerns solved instantly. Because each player naturally slid into a role that amplified the others. Luka became the primary engine. LeBron became the ultimate secondary creator and mismatch hunter. Reaves became the stabilizer, the glue guy with a scorer's instinct and a role player's ego. This wasn't three stars fighting for touches. This was three players finding a perfect balance without forcing anything. And the league had absolutely no idea how to defend it. What makes this trio so deadly isn't just the talent, it's the versatility. Luka sets the table with the slowest, fast pace in basketball. He manipulates defenders like they're NPCs in his own video game. He'll snake a pick and roll, keep a defender on his hip, stare down a tagger, and deliver a pass to the left corner while his body is facing the right wing. And when he's surrounded by shooters and cutters, it becomes unfair. Insert LeBron. Insert Reaves. Insert the freedom to punish literally every coverage a defense tries to throw at them. Teams can't blitz Luka because LeBron becomes a downhill freight train with numbers. They can't drop because Luka will carve them alive. They can't switch because Reaves hunts mismatches like a shark scenting blood. And they can't double because someone is always open, and Luka is practically incapable of missing open teammates. But the real magic, the part that makes this trio feel like something out of a video game, is how well they complement each other when the pace changes. Luka likes to slow things down, break them apart, solve defenses like puzzles. LeBron, even at 40, still pushes in transition like every possession is a fast break clinic. And Reaves? He lives for broken plays, scramble sequences, late clock chaos. So what happens when you combine all three? You get a team that controls tempo better than anyone else in the league. When things get slow, they play through Luka. When the game speeds up, they play through LeBron. When possessions get messy, Reaves takes over. No team in the league has that kind of dynamic flexibility, and it's why every game feels like the Lakers are dictating the terms. But as good as the offense has been, the surprising part of this trio has been the defense. Everyone expected the Lakers to become an offensive juggernaut. No one expected them to turn into a top-tier defensive team again. And yet, somehow, they have. Not because Luka suddenly became a lockdown defender, not because LeBron found the fountain of youth, and not because Reaves magically grew 3 inches and gained the wingspan of Scotty Barnes. It's because the trio moves together. They communicate. They rotate with purpose. They cover for each other's weaknesses. Luka plays passing lanes. LeBron quarterbacks the defense. Reaves chases shooters off screens like his life depends on it. And behind them, AD remains the anchor that makes everything possible. The Lakers didn't build a perfect defensive trio, but they built a connected one. And that's just as dangerous. Now, the crazy part of all this isn't just that the Lakers have a new big three, it's how quickly they've become a legitimate contender. Before the Luka trade, the Lakers were hovering around the play-in conversation, exhausted from inconsistency and desperately trying to hold on to momentum. After the trade, they became one of the best teams in the league. The offense skyrocketed. The efficiency jumped across the board. The spacing improved tenfold. And for the first time in years, the Lakers look like a team with an identity. Luka didn't just join the team, he reshaped it. You can see it in LeBron's game the most. For 2 decades, LeBron has been the engine of every team he's ever been on. Everything ran through him. Every decision flowed from him. Every offensive possession relied on his ability to create advantages. But now, he finally gets to play as a secondary star. And the result is unreal. He's more efficient. He's more explosive in bursts. He's more willing to attack mismatches without having to initiate every action. Luka has given him what he hasn't had since Kyrie, someone who can run an entire offense without him. Except this time, that someone is bigger, stronger, smarter, and more polished. Luka is a cheat code for aging superstars, and LeBron is taking full advantage. And then there's Austin Reaves, the guy who went from undrafted to rising star to please don't include him in the trade package in record time. Reaves is the perfect third piece for 2 reasons. He's fearless and he's programmable. He'll do whatever the team needs, and he'll do it with confidence. Need him to be a secondary scorer? Done. Need him to be the connective passer? Easy. Need him to guard the other team's best perimeter player while Luka and LeBron conserve energy? He'll do it. What makes him so valuable is that he plays with a star's skill set, but a role player's mentality. He doesn't overcomplicate anything. He doesn't force anything. He thrives in the gaps Luka and LeBron create. And for the first time in his career, he's being rewarded with wide-open looks, uncontested drives, and mismatches he never had access to before. The game has slowed down for him, not because he changed, but because the players around him elevated his opportunities. He doesn't force anything. He thrives in the gaps Luka and LeBron create. And for the first time in his career, he's being rewarded with wide-open looks, uncontested drives, and mismatches he never had access to before. The game has slowed down for him, not because he changed, but because the players around him elevated his opportunities. But it's the clutch moments where this trio becomes terrifying. Luka has always been one of the best late-game scorers in the NBA. LeBron has been one of the most clutch players of the past 20 years. Reaves has that irrational confidence gene, where he believes every late clock shot is supposed to go in. When the game tightens, when possessions matter, when every decision could swing momentum, the Lakers don't panic. Luka orchestrates. LeBron picks his matchup. Reaves punishes overhelp. It's surgical, it's measured, and it's devastating. The question people keep asking is simple. Are the Lakers actually contenders? And the answer, for the first time since 2020, is yes. Not because of nostalgia, not because of brand, not because of hope, but because they have three players who cover every weakness a team can have. Luka controls pace. LeBron controls matchups. Reaves controls spacing and effort. And with AD anchoring the defense and a supporting cast finally built around strengths instead of desperation, the Lakers don't just look good, they look sustainable. Their offense isn't reliant on one player having a historic night. Their defense isn't held together by duct tape and prayer. Their chemistry isn't fake hype. It's real. It's deliberate. It's earned. Teams have thrown everything at them this season. Traps, double teams, switching schemes, zone defenses, and nothing has slowed them down. Luka's shot creation is unstoppable. LeBron's IQ is too overwhelming. Reaves' adaptability is too consistent. Basketball isn't supposed to be this simple, and yet for the Lakers, it suddenly is. And the best part? They're still getting better. Because as crazy as this trio already looks on the court, you can tell just by watching them. They're nowhere near their final form. Every game feels like a new experiment, a new layer, a new piece of chemistry that didn't exist the night before. The scary part isn't that they're winning, it's that they're learning how to win together. Watch the timing. Early on, Luka would come off a screen, draw two defenders, and LeBron's cut would be a half-second late. But now, they're moving like they're sharing the same hard drive. Luka turns the corner, boom. LeBron is already slicing to the rim before the defense even processes the rotation. Reaves lifts from the corner, creates just enough space, and Luka fires a pass without even looking. These aren't plays being called, these are instincts forming in real time. And that level of chemistry doesn't come from film sessions. It doesn't come from practice reps. It comes from trust. Trust that's growing every single night. Take Luka. For years in Dallas, Luka had to control every aspect of every possession. Slow the game down, solve the puzzle, bend the defense until it breaks. But now, he doesn't have to manipulate the game to perfection every single trip. Sometimes the best play is pushing the pace and letting LeBron wreck the defense. Sometimes the best play is spacing out and letting Reaves attack a tilted floor. Luka is becoming more patient, more selective, more efficient, simply because he finally has teammates who can share the load. And LeBron, this is the part nobody expected, is suddenly turning into the greatest off-ball superstar we've ever seen. For 2 decades, LeBron never had the luxury of standing in the corner, because standing in the corner made the offense worse. But with Luka running the show, those rest possessions aren't rest at all, they're traps. Defenses look at LeBron spaced on the wing and relax for half a second, and that's when he attacks. A quick cut, a power drive, a perfectly timed seal. Luka finds him, and it's 2 points before the defense even realizes what happened. It's telepathy, and LeBron has never had it like this. Reaves, though, Reaves might be the most interesting evolution of all, because while Luka and LeBron are refining greatness, Reaves is expanding his ceiling. He's learning exactly when to take over offensively, especially when teams overload on the 2 stars. He's beating help defenders before they even arrive. He's reading coverages faster, reacting quicker, playing with a confidence that's starting to feel automatic.
He's not just a perfect fit next to stars anymore. He's becoming a problem on his own, and the Lakers coaching staff sees it. Every week, they're adding new wrinkles designed specifically for these 3. New spacing rules, new actions, new lineups. Some nights, LeBron's the small ball 5, Luka is cooking in the mid-post, and Reaves is the screen setter, a lineup that would have sounded insane a year ago, but now looks like a cheat code. Other nights, Reaves becomes the initiator while Luka rests, and LeBron hunts mismatches like a heavyweight boxer, picking his moments. This isn't randomness, it's intentional chaos, organized unpredictability. And the supporting cast? They're evolving too. Role players who looked unsure earlier in the season suddenly look comfortable because Luka and LeBron are giving them the easiest shots of their careers. The shooters get real spacing. The bench gets stability. For the first time since the bubble year, The Lakers look like a team playing with a blueprint, instead of improvising through games. But the most important area, the one that could decide the entire playoff picture, is their late-game evolution. They're already deadly in the clutch, but you can see the hierarchy still forming. Luka ISO, LeBron mismatch, Reaves spacing. Some nights the balance is perfect. Other nights, it's still a work in progress. But every game, the decision-making gets sharper. Every week, the trust gets deeper. Every month, the roles get clearer. And that's the nightmare scenario for the rest of the league, because there's only so much you can do when the math stops making sense. Luka forces rotations. LeBron punishes mismatches. Reaves attacks confusion. This team doesn't rely on one guy going nuclear. They don't need the same formula every night. They can beat you with pace one game, mismatches the next, and surgical half-court offense the one after that. Championship-level basketball isn't about your ceiling, it's about your adaptability. And this trio might be the most adaptable core in the NBA. Because if this is their chemistry at the halfway point of the season, what happens when they get to April? What happens when they get to May? What happens when they enter a playoff series with a week to break down your tendencies, your coverages, your weaknesses, and 3 basketball geniuses who live for that kind of detail? What happens when Luka fully masters LeBron's timing? What happens when LeBron fully trusts Reaves in pressure moments? What happens when Reaves fully internalizes Luka's pace? You get something rare, something dangerous, something the league isn't prepared for. A trio built not just on talent, not just on chemistry, but on growth. A trio that's improving faster than defenses can adjust. And if this is the early version, the beta version, the rest of the NBA better be praying the Lakers don't unlock the final form. Because if they do, it won't just be a fun storyline. It won't just be a comeback season. It won't just be a competitive playoff run. It'll be a problem, a championship-sized problem. The Lakers aren't just trying to compete. They're trying to reclaim a throne. And with LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reaves, they just might pull it off.